Blazor Server app is a single-page application where the code that is written in C# runs on the server and not the client machine. I'll discuss what a single-page application is when I cover the WebAssembly implementation topic next. For now, I want to keep this server-side implementation topic as simple as I can. I will guide you through a practical demonstration of this in part 3 of this Introduction to Blazor series. That is when we will create and run a Blazor server application. But in these introductory lessons, your server-side web applications will not be running on a real remote web server somewhere in the cloud. That only happens after you have published your web application to a hosting service provider. But until then, it will be running on your local machine. Your local machine will simulate the remote web server using a lightweight version of IIS called IIS Express. IIS stands for Internet Information Server and is a proprietary web server that is maintained by Microsoft. IIS Express comes standard with Visual Studio, and you won't have to install it separately. There is another web server called Kestrel that comes with Microsoft's .NET Core libraries. Unlike IIS, Kestrel is open source and cross-platform. One of these two web services will be started up whenever you run your code from inside Visual Studio. By default, Kestrel is the web server that will be started up, but you can change this. So you can simulate the real-world running of your server-side Blazor application while inside Visual Studio, as if it was deployed or published to a real web service somewhere on a remote hosting service provider, such as Azure or AWS. Popular heavy-duty web services out there include IIS, Apache, and Nginx. In practical applications, you will be able to host your Blazor server application on any of these servers. With the server-side implementation of a Blazor web application, only your conventional static files such as HTML, JavaScript, cascading style sheets, images, and font files are downloaded to the browser when you run the application. These are of course necessary for the browser to be able to render and display the content to the user. With Blazor Server, the code that gives your application its rich functionality along with sensitive data remains on the server and is executed on the server. So no special programs, executable files, or anything of that nature is needed on the client side for a user to use your server-side Blazor web application. All you need on the client side is a browser. In the case of Blazor, it will be the C# code that is executed on the server, which means that all web content will be pre-generated on the server and sent to the user's browser to be displayed. With the Blazor server implementation, the server maintains a real-time persistent connection to the browser called SignalR. With SignalR, the server can push content updates and user interface changes to connected browsers in virtually real time. SignalR is another very cool technology that can be used to add any sort of real-time web functionality to server-side web applications. While real-time chats are often used as the example to illustrate the use of SignalR, you can do a whole lot more with SignalR than chats. You can create real-time monitoring and dashboard applications, collaborative applications, and you can create real-time status or progress update functionalities. SignalR basically enables the running of any type of web application that requires high-frequency updates from the remote server. For example, financial market chart updates or even real-time gaming.